Ask for the truth on behalf of Clare Louise Silversides concerning relationship issues and problems with her marriage. I ask this in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the truth always. And we cut the deck for you there and place the cards just to the side. And as you know, Clare, where the deck splits, after being shuffled on your behalf, so all things are true and asked for properly, where the deck splits is where it's thought to be, I suppose, at its most energetic point. So effectively the top of the deck now is the middle, isn't it, or whatever, where the middle was is now on top. So you've got that energy to try and answer this question that seems to be, of course, why does somebody hang around with somebody else for 13 years and then all of a sudden just do a runner, meet somebody else, or just turn around and say don't want you no more or whatever. I don't know. Why does it just all of a sudden happen? I suppose that's the oldest question in the book, isn't it, really? You don't know what happens, or do you? Let's try and find out what the truth is here for you, Clare. What we're going to do is deal out 3 cards, and it's a past, present, future spread here, in the sense of the past is really the recent past. In the sense of about 3 or 4 weeks or so ago, you could say, I always say about a moon phase behind. You've probably heard me say that before. And by doing that, of course, it doesn't mean I could say, well, something's going to happen to you in 3 years, and it's highly likely that it probably will. So it, of course, nails it down to as near to now as possible, doesn't it? Without trying to go too far into the future, because we do have power over the future, and we've only got to make one move, and we change everything. So we're really after insight and guidance, really, aren't we, to that degree? Let's see what's been going on just recently in this marriage of yours. The first card, of course, you asked the question, so the meaning of that card will be linked to your question, but also linked to the situation that you are in over the past 3 or 4 weeks or so, and it'll be related to that. So we just bring it round now. I'll just flip the card over nice and slow just to see what energy we have there. And the energy of the the spirit whisperer. I nearly couldn't say that then. Put your teeth in. I suppose really we're on about guidance, and this isn't about divine guidance, isn't it? And higher knowledge, and higher knowing, or higher knowledge. Divine guidance and higher knowing, as you would say. The spirit whisperer, the energy of the spirit whisperer there, of course, surrounded you, and of course, why am I getting this sense as though you sort of knew something was coming? Although it all of a sudden happened, and what the hell's that all about? He just suddenly turns up, comes home on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, whatever, comes home at New Year and just suddenly says, don't want to know you anymore, don't want to be with you, tra-la-la-la-la. I'm not calling you a liar in any way, if you think I am. I might be, but in a subtle sort of way, so I don't end up being accused of accusing you. But in the sense of you say it was sudden, but I have a funny feeling as though you knew. Not so much you knew it would happen, but you sensed something. And the spirit whisperer, the energy of the spirit whisperer was with some divine sort of like a divine or a sage or something. Either that or somebody's warned you already about this in the sense of another psychic or whatever, but I think this is you. I think you already knew something was going on, or you suspected something, which sometimes is as good as knowing, isn't it? Knowledge is when, well, faith is when belief becomes knowledge. And maybe you have more faith in yourself than although. But I just somehow feel as though there's something you're not letting on, or you've not let on in the question that you've asked. I somehow feel you know a bit more than what you would like, which is fair enough. A lot of darkness there, isn't there? Although there's the light in the background, there's nevertheless a lot of the whispering or whatever it is that's been whispered to you by the spirit whisperer, as you would say, from a divine sort of aspect, has been whispered from the darkness, hasn't it, Claire? It's been whispered from a dark place, in the sense of a dark place in your life or in the situation that you're in. I'm having a funny feeling here that well, life is not a bed of roses. We don't expect it to be, but I do have a funny feeling here as though something may have triggered it, something dark may have triggered it. I want to move to the next card, and I just want to see what is going on there, really. I want to sort of like join the two together, the meanings or the interpretation of the two energies together. The energy of the spirit whisperer is there, just really saying that you knew all along, really, to some degree, although the divine guidance, you've received divine guidance before. Like I say, I had the choice, didn't I? Either accusing you of knowing already, or of course another psychic or somebody else using occult means maybe to find out for you. I want to see what's going on now, though. Well, let's just rotate this card. Let's flip the card nice and slowly there, not to disturb whatever wisdom is there. Whatever hides behind there, and we'll just see that card, the Arrow Master. Of course, the Arrow Master, his energy, of course, is I suppose really hitting the mark or hitting the target, isn't it? It's all about hitting the nail on the head, as we often call it. Hitting the nail on the head. And of course, when you point an arrow, I suppose, in that sense, or whatever, when you take aim and fire, you've got an intention of doing something. Taking aim and firing, you've got a target. Hitting the mark. What's all this about? Is Spirit saying that I've hit the mark? Is that what's going on? Am I being told something here? Or you are being told something? You've hit the mark. Whatever you assumed, you've hit the mark. Because of what you've assumed or whatever you've put in the firing line, as you could call it, then of course whatever it was, whatever the energy, whatever message, whatever divine guidance was given to you by the Spirit Whisperer, clearly now the energy of the Arrow Master is there saying that right now you've hit the mark. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're thinking now, you've hit the mark. Whatever your intention is, whatever you intend to do about this, because you have to make those intentions known. Whatever you're doing about it now, you're on the right. You've hit the mark. You're on the right track. You hit the nail on the head. Whatever you're thinking, it is what you think it is. But then again, I could accuse you and say, well, you knew anyway. You knew anyway, didn't you? In the sense of higher knowing, divine guidance, higher knowing, you did know deep down. I suppose you could call it divine guidance, or you could call it woman's intuition. I don't know what sort of pragmatic sort of scientific view you could give it, but either way, maybe there isn't a scientific view. Maybe it's your own psychic abilities here at work. And but we're on about the darkness there, more of a green sort of darkness, isn't there, with the Spirit Whisperer, as if from like the heart chakra or something. But whereas it's more, the Arrow Master comes from more even a darker place, in a forest, where you can get lost, not only not see where you're going in the darkness, but also there's a forest there, clouds above, of course, clouded. In the moonlight, of course, if there's such thing as moonlight, which there isn't, it's reflected sunlight, which the reflection of whatever situation is there is shining down and lighting the way, and the Arrow Master uses that, his energy, uses that to help you literally hit the mark, or hit the nail on the head, as we call it here. To say what you want from this, because of that. And whatever your intention is, whatever you want, you must focus. It's about focus, isn't it, really? If I got a pen or something, I could write the word focus on there, couldn't I? As well. It's about that. If you've only got one arrow, which is of course years ago in the olden days, after you'd killed an animal or a person or whatever, you used to retrieve your arrows because you could use them again, recycling, as you could say. And in this sort of sense, whatever you're using to try and hit the mark, maybe you could use it again. Is it the same reason? Giving the same reason? Well, this is the reason why you did that, and it's also the same reason why you did the other as well, isn't it? It's not the same reason you didn't do the one that other thing as well because of that, did you? The same intention, the same, you intend to, you just want to leave me anyway, so the intention is to do that, and just, but no, it's not to do with that, it's to do with you hitting the mark and hitting your target. Whoever it is you blame or find responsible then for this situation, you've hit the right mark, you've hit the target, you've hit the nail on the head, you're right. Whatever you intend to get from this, focus well, and you will get the right one. You want to know who's responsible for this as well, or you think you know. You have done that. Your intention has been strong, and you've taken aim. The Arrow Master is helping you now to take aim, to point in the right direction, to hit the right target, to hit the mark. Yes, that's the one who's responsible. She's the one. I can go on Facebook or Twitter or wherever and ask, or YouTube and request a reading from a reader or whatever and ask what's going on, but I already know what's going on. I knew all along. Didn't you, Claire? You knew all along. And I want to see what is about to happen, in the sense of, yes, you've got power over it. It doesn't have to happen. You can change it, but nevertheless, can you? What guidance does Spirit give you? What choice do you have from this? What potentially? As I say, we rotate the card nice and slowly as not to disturb the energy. We keep it nice and steady. And as you can see there, the Rainbow Prince. I wonder what he's about. What's he? Wow. Certainly there's compensation in some way, shape or form coming here. And just like the Arrow Master, notice how it links up to the Arrow Master with the perseverance of taking aim to hit the mark, in the sense right now, linked with the Rainbow Prince there of persevering. If at first I do not succeed, try again, get another arrow and take aim and fire again. I get a funny feeling as though you don't need to do this, though. You don't need to do that. Because the Rainbow Prince, of course, rainbow would indicate maybe the rainbow chakras. In the sense, the red, orange, you know, Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, of your own chakra. And maybe that's part of what it is as well. But the rainbow, I tend to get rainbow in my sort of looking at this card. I tend to view this as though the Rainbow Prince is trying to look at different colours, different angles of the situation. Perseverance is like that, isn't it? You have to look at all colours, at the sarangi, or all colours of the situation. You have to do that, don't you? And this is what you'll find yourself doing, looking at all the colours, not just judging a book by one colour, but judging it by all colours. Yes, you're having to take aim now. You're having to focus and concentrate now on one thing, on one person, taking aim at one person to hit the mark of why it happened, who it is responsible, and so on. But then, for the next 3 or 4 weeks or so, you will be able to see what else is potentially going to happen next. Such as, for example, who else is he going to do it to? Well, he can do it to the one he's with now. And then she'll be in your possession. What else will happen either to you or him? What will happen to the marriage in that regard? I suppose we only have to put 2 and 2 together to sort of work out what. But then again, that's whatever you intend to happen. If right now you intend, because you've hit the mark, in the sense you've hit the nail on the head and so on, you may have him by the short and curlies. You may be the one who can dictate how the marriage goes on from now on, if you're prepared to not let it go, or supposed to forgive if forgiveness is there, if you're able to let go of your judgments and just forgive. But nevertheless, if you do, then I do it on these terms and you can sort of gain control over it. But I don't seem, maybe persevering with the marriage even, regardless of what's happened. I don't know. It's all very interesting, isn't it? But what are you persevering with? The marriage, or persevering with the rest of your life? But compensation, of course, you want some redress from this. You want compensating in some way. Well, I want half of the house or half the bank account or whatever. I do somehow feel as though something is round the corner, the inevitable is round the corner, and you will be persevering to get compensation in that sense. If at first you don't succeed, try again. But you'll try all, not just going for half of everything, but maybe there are other angles, other things you can persevere with, other things you can explore before you take the plunge into doing the inevitable because of what's happened. You've hit the mark, your intention, you know what you want to do now, because you knew all along anyway. You knew this was going to happen because you sensed something was going on. You can say it all of a sudden happened at New Year, but it didn't all of a sudden happen. You knew something was coming. You sensed it. The spirit whisperer doesn't lie. The spirit whisperer, she may whisper. We may not hear her voice, but we hear what she says. It depends who she's whispering to, doesn't it? And she was whispering to you. And of course, with higher knowing, higher knowledge, and divine guidance, is she your spirit guide? Does the energy of the spirit whisper, what is the spirit whisperer, or was the spirit whisperer sent by your spirit guide to communicate with you? The energy of the Arrow Master right now is certainly putting you on the mark. You're certainly on target, in the limelight, as you would say. Although at night, remember, although the moon there is out, it's only a small crescent moon. You can't really see much by that, but nevertheless, it's enough to say this is the light of the sun reflecting. Whatever situation has taken place and is taking place now is reflecting back upon you, and you can take aim at the cause of that. And of course, the Rainbow Prince in your immediate future it awaits to help you explore redress, really, to explore some means of getting redress from this, compensation and just helping you persevere in the general sense of the word, I suppose. That's the rainbow of it, looking at all colours of the situation, judging the book not just by one colour, but judging it by all colours, and literally, I suppose, to some degree even looking beyond immediate appearances of any primary colour. Because within the rainbow you may have the 7 colours of the rainbow, but there are intermediate colours in between there, hundreds of colours. You just can't see them. You just see the main ones that vibrate at those 7 frequencies. But attention to detail, are you either capable of that or willing to do that? That's up to you. You're prepared to persevere and look at all colours, look at all angles, listen to every excuse and every lousy, well, listen to every reason and every lousy excuse that he can come up with to try and get himself out of it. Will it save your marriage? Are you prepared to persevere with your marriage and compensate in some way, or seek some compensation? Is the compensation the reason that he gives? The lousy excuse that he gives for cheating on you? Will that be enough compensation? Well, I love you. I love you more than her anyway, so let's forget about it. Is that a good enough excuse? Is that good enough compensation? Or is this something that you knew all along? And of course, you see, the problem is, Claire, you can lock up from a thief, but you cannot a liar. And if you knew this all along before, and if the energy of the Spirit Whisperer was whispering to you before, sent by your spirit guide, I certainly believe here, and certainly hitting the mark right now with your true intent on finding out who this is, wanting to direct all your energy toward the culprit. It's all right blaming her. There's only one person. It wasn't her who walked out on you, Clare. It wasn't her who came home and said she didn't love you anymore. It was him. And with that, you know the answer. May the energies of the Spirit Whisperer, the Arrow Master, and the Rainbow Prince follow thee, and guide, heal, and protect thee. For now, Clare, these cards have spoken.